Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on Lumber Capital Log Yard. This morning we're getting in some cement blocks because we're going to be building kind of like a platform to cut some of the slabs on, and you're going to see here in a minute what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and get into this video. One great thing about cutting hardwoods as opposed to stuff like pine and hemlock is that we can use the cutoffs, the slabs that come off of it, for firewood. And we get some questions, people asking why can't you burn softwood for home heating? And a lot of people do, apparently, but not anybody really in our area. Mainly the people in our area are all for the hardwood. They won't burn any softwood unless you have maybe an outdoor burner, but it's really not the best for home heating. So nobody's going to spend money on softwood for home heating around our area, so that's why we stay away from it. But I can see how, in different parts of the world that might be different. But for us, right now, we're trying to come up with a system that turns this into good firewood. And that might be a little bit more complicated than you might think. What we've been doing is we've been using a chainsaw to basically cut it down to 16-inch increments. And that's kind of time consuming and hard to do it with a pile like this in a jig because it's hard to get all the way through. So we have these cement blocks and we're going to be setting them up in a way that makes it a little bit easier to cut this down and make good firewood. So I don't quite know what the boss's plan is yet for it, but we're going to find out. So I have the boss with me, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his plan for this little section that we just created here. What is this space really going to be used for? Yeah.
Okay. Jade, can you zoom in over here? You gonna walk with me? Come on. This is slab wood off the mill. This is mainly white oak here, and thank you again to Andrew Easton for giving us access to his splitter. So this is going to be part of our fire product, so we'll put that on the axis splitter and knock it in half. The problem with this product is how do you cut it? So the girls put it, we call these jigs, they're just U-shaped C-channel. We put it in here as it's coming off the mill, and we try and keep the ends lined up so we can mark it out at 16 inches and then get our firewood cut. The problem is that you can't always get all the way through it. And yes, I know, before you put it in the comments, I could get a longer bar and there's a lot of different things I could do, but you can't see because it's 3.5 feet tall and it's about 45 inches wide, 42 maybe, and it's just hard to know whether you got them all. So you can't go in and scoop up because there's always slabs underneath that aren't cut. So what my idea is, and then it's very hard to scoop up wherever you put it. If you have it in the dirt, then you scoop up dirt. So we had Jerry Quiggle again. I think he's shown up in a video or two. He's one of my friends. He does construction and does a lot of hauling for me. He moves my machines. He brought these blocks up. They weigh 3,800 pounds each. Our local cement plant, when they have off-haul cement coming in, they fill their forms and then sell these blocks. So we're going to put the jigs inside here, and we're going to take 6x6s and sort of line the bottom, so we'll be able to take the C-channel off, put it right in here, and then cut right down and cut right into the 6x6s that are on the ground, so you wouldn't be chalking your saw on the ground. And we'll be able to keep them over in the corner, so we'll have our flush side, and then we'll be able to scoop in on the cement and pick the material up. We'll have to pull the 6x6s out, which won't be too hard, and then we'll be able to scoop it up and then move it on to further processing. It is not the most profitable way to do firewood, but where it is profitable for us to do it is we've already paid all the freight, if you will. We've already cut the tree, skid the logs, skid the tree, hauled the logs, and everything. The slabs are already here, so we're not buying the product from another company or even just cutting it into other firewood. So it's always been a product that I like to put in our mix, and since we only really cut mostly oak, it just is very nice to add in. And there's some stoves that it just works perfect in. I happen to have one at my house. I love knocking that slab wood in two and running it home. I can just cram it full on those cold nights. So that's why we did that. It's just a little part of our story. 6 months from now, who knows, you might see those blocks move someplace else because it'll be like another wrong idea. So, but we'll see how it goes. I'm sort of excited. I think it's a good idea. Another thing it does is this time of year, it gives us a place to work where we're not standing in the mud. Where we've done firewood processing down below, you can get ankle deep down there, and it is just an absolute mess. And then when you go pick up the product, you're scooping up the dirt. That's why we have the skeleton bucket, so we can shake it and knock out a lot of the dirt too. So we'll have to see how it goes. Thanks for watching, and if it's around in a couple months, you know that it was successful. If not, well, we'll use the blocks someplace else.
Yeah, I mean, we always find a use for them regardless. You've bought, I think
we have a couple hundred blocks here.
Yeah, you buy several at a time, and we just find uses for them around. So
yep, Jerry can haul 9 at a time, and so we usually have him get us a full load when he brings it in. So yep.
All right, well, thanks for telling us your plan here, and thank you guys for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time.